According to the World Health Organization, 4% of the global population struggles with anxiety disorders, making it the most common mental illness in the world. That equates to approximately 300 million people. If you're struggling with anxiety and stress or know someone who is, this episode is for you. Welcome back to the Kwik Brain Podcast. I'm your host and your coach, Jim Kwik. I'm here as always to help you to learn quickly and build better, brighter brains. Today, we have a very special episode where we'll be talking about how to overcome anxiety using the principles of neuroplasticity. We recently ran a poll on our online community, and you said that managing stress and anxiety is one of the major challenges you're facing right now. So in this episode, I'll be sharing 5 practices to rewire your brain and break the cycle of anxiety for good. Now, let's get started with remembering what neuroplasticity is. Neuroplasticity is the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself, form new connections, and generate new neurons throughout life, even in older age. Me entering my 50s, this is something I'm prioritizing now more than ever. And, we could always make a choice. With circumstance and experience, we could grow bitter or we could certainly grow better. And everything comes down to a choice. The good news is, contrary to popular belief, that your brain is not fixed. Your brain is not fixed. It's not fixed like your shoe size. 1/3 of your brain power is genetic and based more on biology, while the other 2/3 is in your influence and even control. This means that we have the power to reshape our brains through experiences, new learnings, and intentional practices. Remember, novelty and nutrition. There was one study in particular that demonstrated neuroplasticity by exploring the remarkable capacity of the human brain to adapt and change in response to environmental demands. It's kind of like a muscle. Conducted by neuroscientist Eleanor Maguire and her team at the University College London, the study focused on London taxi drivers who undergo extensive training to acquire a detailed mental map of the city streets and landmarks. We talked about this in my book, Limitless. Through structural MRI scans, the team discovered that the posterior hippocampus, this is the region of the brain associated with spatial navigation and memory, was significantly larger in experienced taxi drivers compared to the control subjects. The taxi driver study, which is very popular, not only highlighted the brain's remarkable capacity for adaptation, but also it underscored the importance of experience-driven neuroplasticity in shaping cognitive abilities and expertise. Now, let's discuss what anxiety is. Anxiety is the natural response to stress or perceived threats, but when it becomes chronic or overwhelming, it can significantly impact your well-being. We know that chronic stress will shrink the human brain. Chronic fear could actually make you more susceptible to colds, to flus, to viruses, a whole area of science called psychoneuroimmunology. So symptoms of anxiety may include excessive worry, restlessness, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. Anxiety can hijack our thoughts, our emotions, making it challenging to function optimally in daily life. Now, before we proceed further, it's important to note that while these strategies discussed in this video can be helpful for managing anxiety, they are not a substitute or intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice or treatment. If you know somebody who is struggling with anxiety disorder or any mental health condition, it's crucial to seek guidance from a qualified healthcare professional. They can provide personalized recommendations and support you tailored to your individual needs. Remember, your mental health is important. It should be paramount. And it is brave of you to reach out for help when you need it. It is not a sign of weakness. It is certainly a sign of strength. Now let's explore the 5 practices you can intentionally do to reduce stress and anxiety through neuroplasticity. The first practice is expressive writing. It's a form of journaling pioneered by psychologist James Pennebaker that generally involves spending 15 to 20 minutes a day for 3 to 5 consecutive days writing about your deepest feelings and emotions related to a stressful event. So, for example, have you ever found yourself ruminating about a negative interaction or a tough situation and can't figure out how to stop thinking about it? This is the type of thinking that can keep us up at night, distract us from our work or family life, and cause us to be in a constant state of anxiety. Instead of holding it in, try writing in a journal about how you feel about that situation. According to James Pennebaker, his research on expressive writing allows individuals to confront and process difficult emotions in a structured and controlled manner, which can lead to a sense of catharsis and emotional release. By putting thoughts and feelings into words, you begin to gain clarity, perspective, and a sense of mastery over your emotions, ultimately leading to changes in brain function and structure associated with improved emotional regulation and resilience. The second way that you can reduce anxiety is through positive self-talk. Remember that your brain is like a supercomputer and your self-talk is the program it will run. We talk about this often, that if you say, I'm not good at remembering names, you won't probably remember the name of the next person you meet because you program your supercomputer not to. Your mind is always eavesdropping on your self-talk. When we engage in more positive self-talk, we consciously challenge negative or anxious thoughts with affirming and empowering statements. This practice helps to shift our mindset from one of maybe fear and worry to one of more optimism and resilience. Over time, repeated exposure to positive self-talk, it can reshape the neural pathways in our brain, strengthening connections associated with feelings of self-worth, confidence, and emotional regulation. We have a great podcast episode with Melina Vicario, LA biohacker, on self-talk techniques to unlock your confidence. You should check that out. We will put a link to that always in the show notes at jimkwik.com/notes. So remember that every time you engage in positive self-talk, you activate specific neural circuits associated with positive emotions and self-perception. With repetition, these neural pathways become more robust and efficient, making it easier for our brains to default to more positive thinking patterns and emotional responses. Moreover, positive self-talk can also stimulate the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which are known to promote feelings of happiness, well-being, and relaxation. These neurochemical changes further reinforce the brain's adaptive response to positive self-talk, creating a self-reinforcing cycle, a loop, if you will, of positivity and emotional resilience. The third way to soothe stress and anxiety is one of my favorites, meditation. Meditation practices have been shown to induce neuroplastic changes in several key brain regions associated with emotional regulation, attention, and your stress response. Studies using MRI have revealed that regular meditation can lead to increased gray matter, the density of it, in different brain regions. These structural changes are indicative of enhanced neural connectivity and function, particularly in areas involved in self-awareness, cognitive control, and again, emotional regulation. Furthermore, meditation has been found to modulate the activity of the amygdala. This is an almond-shaped part of your brain, and this brain structure is central to the processing of emotions, including things like fear and anxiety. Through regular practice, individuals can develop greater emotional resilience and reduce reactivity to stressors, leading to decreased experience of anxiety and even a heightened sense of calm and equanimity. The practice of mindfulness meditation, in particular, encourages non-judgmental awareness of present moment experiences. Remember, there's a gap between stimulus and response where we have choice, right? We can make a decision. So this includes thoughts, emotions, bodily sensations. By cultivating a more mindful stance towards internal and external stimuli, you can learn to observe your anxious thoughts and your feelings without becoming entangled in them. This mindful awareness promotes a sense of detachment from anxious rumination and fosters a more adaptive response to stress and adversity. For me, meditation has been a big part of my lifestyle. So it's not even something that I debate myself with. I have to get in my 20 minutes of meditation a day. I feel like I'm at a disadvantage if I don't. And we've done plenty of episodes with individuals and experts like Emily Fletcher. We can link to those in the show notes again. And so for me, it's important to disconnect, to reconnect. Your brain's not meant to go fast. You need to take a little brain break, and meditation is one of my favorite things to do. In summary, meditation promotes neuroplastic changes that enhance brain function and structure, particularly in regions involved in emotional regulation and your stress response. By fostering greater self-awareness and emotional resilience, meditation can effectively reduce anxiety and cultivate a greater sense of peace and well-being in your daily life. None of the ingredients contained in the Kwik Mind product are claimed to treat any disease or health condition. Consult your own physician before commencing a nootropic regimen to ensure that this product is appropriate for you. Do you struggle to stay focused or find that your mind wanders when you need to be sharp? Are you looking for an advantage or an edge that can eliminate sluggishness and elevate your cognitive performance? That's why, after decades of research and development, I'm thrilled to bring you Kwik Mind. It's more than just a supplement. It's a key to unlocking your cognitive freedom on a day-to-day basis. Just imagine having the clarity of thought, sharp focus, better memory, and being calm under pressure. Every capsule of Kwik Mind is a blend of 5 pristine ingredients, each backed by research and chosen for its ability to support specific cognitive functions. So, are you ready to meet the sharpest version of yourself? It's just a click away. We have it all at kwikmind.com, kwikmind.com. Place your order for Kwik Mind today and join a community that's redefining what it means to live a life of mental abundance. Okay, let's get on to number 4. When we engage in this thing called visualization, and we talk a lot about that in our program, Kwik Reading, Kwik Recall, we activate similar neural networks in your brain as when we experience events in real life. By vividly imagining calming scenes, peaceful environments, or positive outcomes, we can actually evoke physiological responses that counteract the stress response associated with anxiety. neuroplasticity plays a crucial role in this process by enabling your brain to rewire itself based on your experiences and your mental imagery. We think in pictures. If I ask you to describe your bedroom or describe your car, you see a picture of it. And a picture is worth what? 1,000 words. And often your mind doesn't know the difference between something you vividly imagine and something that is real. You've had this experience where you're thinking about failing, or like you have to give a speech and you worry about it and you're rehearsing it, right? So when we repeatedly visualize calming and positive scenarios, we reinforce neural pathways associated with things like relaxation and emotional well-being. And effectively, you're wiring your brain to respond more adaptively to those stressors, so you feel more empowered. Studies have shown that regular visualization practice can lead to changes in brain structure and performance and function, including increased activity in regions associated with, again, emotional regulation and decreased activity in areas linked to that stress response. For example, functional MRI studies have demonstrated that visualization techniques can modulate activities in the amygdala, again, which is a brain region involved in processing emotions, leading to reduced anxiety and increased feelings of calmness. Moreover, visualization can enhance the brain's ability to generate positive emotions and help you to shift attention away from those anxious thoughts and those worries. And through repetition, by repeatedly visualizing oneself successfully coping with stressors or achieving your desired goals and outcomes, you can build resilience and confidence in your ability to manage anxiety-provoking situations. In summary, visualization techniques harness the brain's capacity for neuroplasticity to promote relaxation, emotional regulation, and resilience in the face of anxiety. By incorporating visualization into a regular mindfulness or relaxation practice, individuals can cultivate a greater sense of calm and well-being and reduce the impact of anxiety on your daily life. And finally, number 5 is physical exercise. Physical exercise has been shown to be a very powerful tool for reducing stress and anxiety. You know this. I just want to encourage you when you hear this to be able to remember common sense is not common practice. It's not just working out 3 times a week, but moving throughout the day. When we engage in physical activity, our bodies release endorphins, neurotransmitters that act as natural painkillers and mood elevators, if you will. These endorphins interact with receptors in our brain to reduce feelings of pain and trigger positive feelings, creating a sense of well-being and relaxation. Additionally, exercise reduces the level of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline in your body, which are often elevated during times of stress and anxiety. Moreover, studies have demonstrated that regular exercise promotes neuroplasticity by stimulating the production of brain-derived neurotropic factors, BDNF. This is a protein that supports the growth and the survival of neurons. It's like fertilizer for your brain. Remember, as your body moves, your brain grooves. BDNF plays a crucial role in synaptic plasticity. This is the ability of synapses which is the connections between your brain cells, your neurons, right? You have 86 billion neurons, to strengthen or even weaken over time in response to activity. By promoting the growth of new neurons and enhancing synaptic plasticity, exercise can improve cognitive function, mood regulation, and resilience to stress, all of which contribute to reducing your anxiety. I also have an entire podcast We did an episode for you about the science of exercise for a sharper mind, so definitely check that out. We'll link it in the show notes again at jimkwik.com/notes. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is a conversation you and I have about the invisible kind of supervillain, if you will, out there, the kryptonite that is really taken away from your productivity, your performance, and your peace of mind, anxiety. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to subscribe to our channel so we can stay in touch and continue learning about the brain together. Now, I'd love it if you could please share in the comments below or on social media. I'm at Jim Kwik there. What action are you taking after watching or listening to this episode to boost your mental health? This is your brain coach, Jim Kwik. Until next time, remember to be limitless.